I read over 100 books this year, and these are my favorites for each month. In January, I read A Study in Drowning by Ava Reed, and we all know how I feel about this book. In February, I read Legendborn and Bloodmarked by Tracy Deonn, and if you haven't read these, what are you waiting for? In March, I read Strange the Dreamer by Lonnie Taylor, which was my first 5-star read of that month, followed by A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson, which might be one of my favorite reads of the entire year. In April, I read Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman, which caught me by surprise and I adored, as well as Vicious by V.E. Schwab, which I never stopped talking about, as well as Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson, and we all know how I feel about this book. Then in the month of May, I read A Tempest of Tea by Hafsa Faizal, and this was definitely my favorite read of the month. In June, I discovered My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix, another book that totally took me by surprise and that I talk about all the time. And then in July, I continued my Grady Hendrix journey with How to Sell a Haunted House, which I loved. And I also read House on the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune, which was probably my favorite read of the month. And then in August, I read probably my favorite romantasy of the year, Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole. September brought me Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings, which I love. And also brought me into my thriller era with Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera and The Only One Left by Riley Sager. Then I started October off strong with my favorite dark romance of the year, the Mind F series by S.T. Abbey. And I also had 2 unbelievable thrillers I cannot stop thinking about, Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney and Fantastic Land by Mike Bakoven. And then if you've been watching me for any amount of time, you know November brought me 2 more 5 stars and my favorite read of the year, hands down. Yumi and the Nightmare Painter by Brandon Sanderson, Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, and my favorite book of the year so far, Blood Over Bridehaven by Emma Wong. I've had a fantastic reading year so far, and I don't know what December is going to bring, but I'm excited for more incredible books to add to this ever-growing list.